What is up? Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to version 0.5, episode 5 of 8-Bits. I'm djWHEAT, joined, as always, by JP, and we have got yet another week of interesting news, tidbits, and not talk about esports, even though there might actually be a little bit of crossover this week. I don't know. JP McDaniel, what the hell is up? How you doing, dude?
I'm doing good, Marcus. Yeah, I'm trying not to watch Evo is actually what's happening right now. It is impossibly hard to not have a Street Fighter stream up right now, but I closed it because I wanted to be focused on the show, but really excited to be watching Evo this weekend, even though that is a little bit esportsy, but I got to get that in there. It's too good.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, and even you think back to the days of early gaming, like before I knew about esports, I knew about Evo. It's kind of one of those things. It's definitely a celebration, if you will. But I don't know, man. It's anyway. It's going on right now. We got 8-Bits. We got 8-Bits for you. But as always, got to talk about what the fuck you've been playing this week, JP.
Well, I guess we should start with what I've been playing in like chronological order. So pretty much right after the show last week, on Saturday, I was kind of bored and I didn't really have anything to do. Saturday night, I didn't know what to play. So I one of my fans gifted me Rogue Legacy, and I got trapped into that game, and I'm really glad that I did because. Have you touched it at all?
I didn't touch it, JP, but I looked at it a little bit after you had told me, and you were like, dude, it's a sweet game, man.
It's great, man.
And so I had two questions because I've played enough Rogue games in my time, okay, especially in early days of Unix when you logged into a shell. Like Rogue was one of the few games you could actually play.
Right.
And so what is, for someone who's played so much Rogue that I feel like, do I have another one? What's going to sell me on this game?
Well, I think, it's described as a genealogical Rogue light, and kind of what I take away from that, the reason they call it that is it's got more. I kind of feel like it's a Metroidvania more than anything. You get. So I don't know if you've even seen the game played or anything, but you get upgrades that are consistent across all of your characters. So you can find a blueprint for, say, a weapon, and there's how many? I think there's 15 different weapons, 15 different swords, helms, chest, bracers, and capes. And then there's for each of those equipment slots, there's 9 to 12 different things that you can equip, like enchantments. There's a lot of unlocking in that.
Okay. So you're not necessarily always starting square one, like you might be in a traditional Rogue game.
Yeah,
where,
exactly.
A playthrough, just that's it. You're kind of playing that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's the type of game where I put up a JPOV about it on my channel, but it's the type of game where you sit down, you play once, and halfway through you're like, man, I probably should I gotta go do something. I probably shouldn't play right now. And then 30 minutes later, you're on your fourth next person because you've died 4 times. You're like, shit, I totally forgot that I had to go do something. You lose track of time so quickly. It's super addicting. The ways that it kind of.
Oh wow, God, yeah. The moment I see the map, all of a sudden I'm like.
Oh yeah, the map's huge. And so when they're showing all those icons, that's only one specific class. So that's the other thing that you unlock is it's kind of like a talent tree. Which has
I'm seeing that right now.
Yeah, right there with the castle, and I think there's 11 classes that you can unlock, and then those are chosen randomly. So every time you die, you get 3 choices of 3 different types of characters, and those can be. There's a specific class called a miner, which you get more gold from enemies that you kill, but you hit a lot less, and you also have a lot less HP. There's just a ton of different stuff that you can really get in this game, and that's why it's so interesting to me.
So the none of this is like randomized.
No, the map is totally randomized. It's
It
randomized
is.
each time you enter the
Holy crap! You can explore that much. Oh my god.
but you can lock it down. Like, say if you get far enough on one map that you get to a boss and you want to kill that boss and you don't want to have to like work your way back through the castle, you can lock down that map, but you lose 60% of all the gold that you make. But you can just teleport right back to that boss and fight him instantly. So it kind of, and I'm glad they put that in there.
That's
Otherwise,
cool.
it would have been really annoying, like getting to the boss and then being like, well, I only have like 4 HP. Like,
It's $12 right now, by the way. It's 15 normally. Sale ends in 9 days. There's a demo as well, which I have.
I didn't know there was
downloaded
a
the
demo.
I
didn't know there
downloaded
was
the
a demo.
demo. I was actually going to try to play it before the show. Didn't get around to doing that.
it's great. It's just a super awesome, it's super engrossing game. Like I said, it definitely has that like one more game mentality where you're just like, man, I need like 1,700 gold, and you lose
Yeah.
all of your gold, by the way, when you enter into the castle. But there's like you can get a talent to like reduce that to like 25% of, or you keep 25% of your gold. Like, there's different things you can do, but it's definitely got that like farming and grinding mentality. So
Okay.
if you're not into that, and it's also like it gets pretty fucking hard once you get into some of those areas where there's just like a billion people, you're constantly getting hit. In HP, like when you're first starting out, HP is very hard to come by. So you die in probably like 5 or 6 hits, and then as you of course progress forward, like you get better and better and stronger, and eventually you can
All right.
go to New Game Plus. And I think people have like New Game Plus 5 or 6, to where they're like having
Damn.
like thousands of HP. I haven't watched any of those videos because I don't want to spoil it for myself, and don't watch any of those videos because half the fun is like unlocking that stuff and learning about the game systems on your own. So it's a great
You
game though.
sold me. All right, Rogue Legacy. That sounds
I'd
like
pick it
it's
up.
worth the $12. That sounds
Yeah.
like it's worth the $12. All right, so let me throw out one that I've been playing. Recently released on the iOS. In fact, almost a surprise, JP, because it was one of these weird things where we knew it was coming, but then suddenly this game just was available on every Apple store, and that is Deus Ex: The Fall. And you know, anytime there's AAA title on like an iPad or something, I'm gonna be a little apprehensive, but always willing to give it a shot. And XCOM is
Right.
kind of like we talked about it. It's kind of shattered the barriers for how it's possible to bring a AAA title to an iPad, dude. And later on during the mobile section, I'll actually like plug it in and show you. But the game is quite incredible for being a mobile game. I mean, full FPS, exactly like Deus Ex as you would expect.
Really?
One of the most badass features of the game, JP, is that you can completely customize the HUD however you want. So you pause the game and then you hit customize, and literally every freaking button or area or HUD or information display or whatever, you can move it. So the cool part
That's
about
crazy.
this is if you are playing, you know, because in Deus Ex you have a lot of people either play lethal or they play non-lethal. If you're playing lethal, it makes sense to like set up your configuration to make it really quick to like, you know, play that way. If you're playing FPS style, you can like put your grenades in a better spot and like your takedowns in a better spot. And I'm just like, this has got to be one of the best things I've ever seen in any sort of like in any touch game.
Right.
Now, what I want to talk about a little later during the mobile segment is people were bitching. Like, Wayne, it's on iOS only. What a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Because I've got a PS3 and a 360 because, you know, if something comes out and then I can't play it, then I've got to be able to play it on the other one. And I've got an iPhone and an iPad, and I've got an Android device. I'm covered. I feel no pain, no empathy for these people at all. I'm sorry, but you sound fucking dumb saying that when like there are legions of gamers out there that have multiple consoles so they can play exclusives.
So the one thing that I've know about this game is that if you have a jailbroken device, you can't fire.
Yes. Very similar, if you guys remember, when Batman Arkham Asylum, or maybe it was Arkham City, was no, it was Was it some fucking I don't know. One of the Batmans released on PC, JP.
Right.
And when people were reporting like the game is broken, and they're like, no, it's not. And they're like, no, seriously, I have to glide from this building to the next building, and your shit's broken. And he's like, no, serious,
It's not
we
broken.
know you downloaded the game, like, and that's genius, right? Now,
Yeah.
jailbreaking's a little bit different because while it does open up piracy, there are plenty of people that jailbreak for for other reasons, full customization, etc.
Right,
I'm not trying to
right.
justify it or anything, but that is pretty. It's like the ultimate block on piracy.
It really
for
is,
them.
yeah.
So
And like you said, it sucks that because a lot of people don't jailbreak games or jailbreak those type of devices just for games, right? Like I would assume a lot of can you actually access the iTunes store on a jailbroken device?
I think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I don't jailbreak, and I don't. So I don't know.
yeah, I don't have any jailbroken devices either, but I know a lot of people that do it are just doing it for like customization reasons, like they want to make their phone look a certain way, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So that's kind of that sucks, but it's an interesting way to kind of combat piracy in that sense, I think.
Yeah, it's
I
clever.
think it's a smart idea from the devs. It just kind of sucks that it affects the people out there that are actually paying for it on a jailbroken device. But I get it. There's no way to like weed that out. So
Yeah,
I
I
understand
don't
kind of
know.
what the devs are thinking.
I don't know what to tell people. Like, on one hand, I want to be like, hey, man, like, I support your plight for wanting to jailbreak for customization. There's a few people in chat right now, JP, that are like, hey, man, I jailbreak my phone for reason X, Y, and Z, but I
Right.
don't pirate anything. So I feel for you folks, but
And then I mean, maybe I'll pull a Don Matrick, and maybe what those people do is you buy the Deus Ex full PC version, right? Like, I don't know how much. What is the story the same? Like,
no,
what,
it's
what is
actually
the
a
actual-
different story. That was the other complaint because people were like, why would you put a sequel on a different console or something platform? And I'm like, because it's obviously not a $60 title that someone would buy, but it does have relevance to the story overall. So
And how much is it? Is it 20? How much is the full game?
$6.99.
Oh, that's a lot cheaper than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, like when we're like, oh, AAA title, like XCOM was obviously much more expensive, but
That's good. I thought it was definitely going to be a little bit more.
nah, for $6.99, you got an iPad. You want like a reasonable, good-looking FPS. Like one other thing, let me mention, and then shoot it on over to you. So when I last week I mentioned Colonial Marines as one of my like biggest. I can't believe I bought this. And one of the things was like I found the backgrounds and the environment to be so drab, and the textures were bad, and like there was no variation in them, and like even in this game, I've walked around and I've looked at stacks of books that each have individual covers, and like I can read the names on the stacks of books, and you walk over here and there's like a TV playing and you can watch a whole news report. I'm like, fuck, man, they actually put
That's
ton
pretty
of
awesome.
time into the environment, and you think about a game like Colonial Marines that couldn't even spend a few, development cycles on it.
Look,
it's pretty
they didn't
impressive.
have enough money for 5 minutes of QA. They just fucking said, like,
Apparently
just push it
not.
out the door.
Apparently
we
not.
got enough pre-orders. We're good to go.
Kill
We're
the
good.
textures. All right, what's next
So
on your side?
one of the other games that last Saturday after the show that I was debating on getting, and I had GameFly'd this right around the time that like it was when all of these games, I think BioShock Infinite was one of the games that was coming out.
Okay.
All of these games coming out at once. I GameFly'd Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, and I was like, I don't have time to play this. Like, I need to go back and just send it back and cancel the GameFly free month, etc. So
you got
finally
caught
yeah, I got caught.
like
I got caught.
like many do, JP.
Yeah, so I eventually found that it was kind of on sale or something on Amazon this week, and we talked about last week how Namco is going to be re-releasing this on the PC, and I was like, maybe I should just wait because like it'll be 60 FPS. And Tuesday came around, I was fuck it, and I just went and bought it, had it delivered. I played a little bit on like I think it was Wednesday night or Thursday night. Have you ever played a Naruto game? Any of the Ninja
man.
Storm?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah.
I had played the other ones. I think I played the first one. I skipped the second one. So far, like the fights aren't as like epic. Although I'm only like 4 or 5 hours into the game, like I've seen some pretty big fights from what I can tell from like the anime that are in there, and they don't seem like as good as they should be. I don't know if it was just like it's early on in the game. They didn't want to go with these like huge fucking epic fights yet. The game starts out amazingly. Like you fight Ninetales,
Right.
in the Hidden Leaf Village, and you're like jumping from building to building as one of the main characters of the game, and it's a lot of fun. But so far, I'm a little bit let down. There's a lot of dialogue that is just kind of like I'd rather just like be fighting someone right now, and then the fights take like 30 seconds because the difficulty's not that bad.
Yeah.
Or not that hard. So I'm really waiting for them to just like start having the fights be batshit insane. That's what I really want.
You know, I've heard that similar complaint about sort of maybe the badassness level not being as high as it has been in the past, but I've not played it myself to know for sure. So there's a couple of folks in chat that are also mirroring your thoughts about it. But you're gonna play it all the way through?
I'm gonna finish the game. I mean, I got it for the $30 or whatever, so I am gonna go ahead and finish the game all the way through. And I've heard that towards the end it does actually reach that like insanity level of having these crazy huge ass fights. So I'm excited to get to that.
How much of the story? Oh, okay. Someone says it doesn't really follow the manga. How much of the story are you familiar with at this point?
So that's the thing is I watched the first maybe like I don't know 25 episodes in the anime, and then I just kind of dropped off. I think that was when I was like done with animes in general. I just haven't watched one in a long time. So like 5 minutes into the game, there's like a sentence and it's just like blah 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 the Hokage of Killer Bee, and I'm just like, who the fuck are like these 30 people they just dropped? I don't know any of these guys.
Yeah.
And it's like he must do like some Japanese word here with Japanese word here to be able to overcome his Japanese words here. I'm just like, shit, I don't know what the fuck was just said for the past 20 minutes. But I'm learning. Like, oh, that's what the fuck, and that's what this means. So, and they don't really do a good job of like telling you what that is. But I mean, eventually, like you can understand what the fuck they're trying to say. Or it's cool seeing characters and everyone's like, oh my god, it's this guy. And I'm like, oh shit, what is this guy gonna do? Like, he's got a lot of fan favorites out there. There's this one of the like leaders of the I don't know, the Dust Village or some shit like that.
Yeah.
He's just like this little tiny guy that flies around, and he like disassembled someone on the molecular level. And it's just like, well, that guy's the best.
Talking about the old
like,
guy with the big nose?
Yeah. He like formed this cube and put it around one guy, and he's like, I disassembled him on a molecular level, and now he's gone. And I'm like, well, that guy's the best. No one could beat that. Like, how do you beat that shit? And he's just sitting there flying. So far, that's my favorite character in the game. I think he's a badass.
Interesting. All right.
We'll see how that progresses forward. But yeah, so far I'm having a good time with it. I just wish the fights were a little bit more epic. But for a $30 game, I'm totally into it. Into it. And the graphics look great as well. I'm playing on the 360 and it looks great.
Awesome. And that's the one that will be coming to PC, right? Or is
I
that...
believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I remember.
So I won't spend too much time on this next game because we talked about it last week, and this was an interesting journey for me. But Mighty Quest for Epic Loot, I did end up getting it later that afternoon and trying it out, and I got to tell you, like, at first I'm like, man, this game's badass. This is cool. And then I hit this brick wall, and I'm like, wait a second. I don't fucking understand the way this advancement is supposed to work because...
What brick wall did you hit?
Well, you get to this point at, like, level 9 where suddenly, like, your character's powerful, but your equipment isn't quite as powerful unless you just buy it up.
Really?
Right? So, like, now that I've like, got better gear and I can actually attack level 8, level... 7 castles and do it within the allotted time. There was like, I still find myself opening this game every 8 hours, collecting resources, adding to my castle, and then maybe playing a little bit. But I have to say, like, I really I really don't think that this game has as much replay value that would keep me playing as I thought it originally did.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like while the idea and the concept behind the game, we're talking about Mighty Quest for Epic Loot, is quite
Yeah.
good. That it has these like weird points where it just the game doesn't make sense to me, right? Like if it's supposed to be a loot game, but I can buy all my best loot from inside, my own castle. I don't know. It's really I guess I just don't get it. And it is technically pay to win after a while. I mean,
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I played the 2 days that it was quote unquote open or whatever during like the fourth. I didn't go back and purchase it yet. Only because there was just too many other games to play. But it's interesting to hear you say that. Like
what level
kind
did
of turns
you
me
hit?
off. Like 7 or 8, like
Okay.
right before I think you hit. I think level 10 in that game is where everything kind of starts to unlock, and that's. It's not the end game, but you kind of get a sense of what that game is all about around that level.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think what is part of the problem is that the repetition and the grind that comes into it all does not appeal when, like I said, again, you're kind of like, I'm going to grind coin to get that best weapon from my own blacksmith. Like, I don't, what happened to I'm running through this dungeon for the 19,000th time so I can try to get this one drop off. I mean, I'm sure like some of that exists, but I don't know that it's there for me to keep going. So I don't know. Like I said, I keep logging in. It keeps me coming back, but every time I log in, like I know that I'm just sort of like going through the motions of building a castle, and I'm not sure that I would take it like that far.
Are you what level did you buy in at, if you don't mind me asking?
What do you mean? Oh, I just the normal level.
So just 10. It was the $10 one.
No, I bought in to get the mage, so I paid like $40, or was
Do
it?
you
30,
regret
30.
the 40? Do you regret
Actually,
that?
it's funny because as I was playing the game, I was like, "Well, God, I wish I would have played this last week so I could have added it to my buyer's remorse." But I keep on going in and playing it like for 15 minutes here and there.
It may, yeah. I mean, I think that's what that game might be designed for, right?
Yeah.
Or are you going in every, like when you do that, you're like, let's give it another 15 minutes and just see if it gets better. Is that what that is?
Yeah, one of the issues is that in this day and age, there's actually some really fucking awesome dungeon crawlers out there.
Right.
Like you cannot force me into repetition for advancement. Like it's gonna get real boring. So
Interesting. Interesting. Well, I guess are you gonna keep playing it?
like I said, I haven't like completely hit the eject button yet,
You just,
but I played 4 hours on the first day, then an hour the next day, then 15 minutes, 15
Okay.
minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. Someone's saying Path of Exile. Maybe this is just a dungeon crawler, like,
you know what? Let's.
I wish I would have paid $15 for this game and I would be completely happy. I am
Okay.
a little salty that I paid
Okay.
for early access, mind you. And
Well,
Yeah.
maybe the fact that it is a free to play game, the fact that you're saying I wish I paid $15, like maybe that speaks for the game in a positive light. Maybe.
sure.
I don't know. We'll see what happens when that game actually comes out. By the way, let's just talk about these Path of Exile, these people that play this game. Like, I feel like any time that these are the people that were so not upset, but just depressed at the state of Diablo 3 when it first came out, that now they're just
Right.
like, you gotta play Path of Exile, man. It's the best. It's the best. Like, I've played Path of Exile before, and they're just like, no, JP, you have to fucking play this game. It's so good. I'm like, it's all right. I mean, it doesn't look that great in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
You know what I love about Path of Exile is it did take a different approach on things.
yeah,
You know,
it
sort of-
did.
Yeah.
It is unique in that sense. I can't fault it for that. But
All right. I'm done.
Yeah, so-
Yeah.
I played more Demon Souls. I've kind of just been trekking. I've hit that point in Demon Souls now where my gear is kind of out leveling a lot of the tier 1 bosses and a lot of the world and tier 2 bosses. But I think I'm getting close to finishing that game. I might finish it in a week or two, depending on how much time I put into it. So I'm excited about that. And then I started playing, and we'll actually get to this a little bit later because I know you're a little bit upset about a particular community choice game, but I started playing Borderlands 2 again last night.
Dude,
And there's some new DLC.
Oh,
yeah.
the new DLC is like pretty fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot of new DLCs out for it, so I might take my character through some of that because Borderlands 2 was a great game. I had a ton of fun. I put 50 or 60 hours into that game. I didn't even hit cap level or anything, so having a lot of fun with that. But that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Nice. Yeah, the only other thing I add to it is Cube World. I've finally gotten a chance to get into it. Yes, it is. God, it's just such a cool-ass looking game.
Yeah.
I didn't do much more than just create a character and run around and shoot some stuff. So my kid's been playing it more than me, but it looks so cool. I can't wait to see where that game can go because the art style is one I love, and the whole thought of like people being able to bring in creative assets, not necessarily in the same way you did in Minecraft, but in other ways, I think it's going to be really freaking awesome. So.
Yeah, I've been watching. I think Tally was streaming that last week.
Yeah.
I watched him play it a lot. It looks interesting. I don't know if I'll get into it personally, but it definitely looks cool. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely for sure. All right, well that's what we've been playing, and it's now ready to. It's now time for us to move on to our bits, and we hit our first bit with probably. Some really, really rough news in the grand scheme of things. And like, JP, I'm not even sure how one approaches this, but I would just want to like say something and then I'll let you kind of take it. But
Sure.
It's weird, as I've seen esports grow and as I've seen sort of like gaming grow, like I always get really sad when I watch the Oscars and they always do that little like, in
memoriam,
in memoriam to the folks that have brought so much entertainment and whatnot to the world, and I think about like they're at the rate in which these different things are growing. Like there's going to be a time where this is going to happen. Like in my time, I've seen a couple of players actually, pass away in esports, but like never really a major figure. And I was thinking, I was like, gaming's kind of like that same way. We've had a few iconic people that have been, in video games in some way, shape, or form, pass away. But I feel like we've never had anyone in this gaming space that people felt this close to actually pass away. And it's just such a weird, surreal feeling to me because there are a lot of people in this space that, affect and are close to a lot of people. And, it's just really, really sad. And not only is it sad for Ryan and his family, but also the Giant Bomb family as well.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy because I woke up on Monday and I actually woke up and I was fixing to go yell at someone about something, right? And it was the smallest, the dumbest possible thing, but I was just like, you know what? This person needs to be yelled at. Like, I'm a little bit upset about this thing, and I go and sit down and I look over at TweetDeck and I see the tweets about people talking about this. I'm like, are they like making a sick joke about the fact that Ryan got married and like he's no longer going to be with us? Because that's something like the Giant Bomb guys would do. And the more it was almost like I was in denial for a couple of hours there. And the crazy part is I met Ryan at PAX 2012 for about 20 or 25 minutes. We were going to kind of State of the Game was working with or was attempting to work with GameSpot at the time, and I was excited kind of about potentially maybe doing some stuff with them, and it was 20 minutes of someone that didn't have to give two fucks about me, right? But he sat there and he looked me straight in the eye and he talked to me like a normal person, right? He didn't have to do that shit. It was at a bar when I met him, and I felt like as Monday kind of progressed forward, that I got hit pretty hard with that. I didn't expect I was going to be as distraught that I was. I mean, I was balling for the better part of Monday. The harmonic stream that they put on definitely hit me pretty
Yeah.
hard. And I was just so sad, man. Ryan Davis is pretty much. I mean, the Bombcast is something that influenced ArenaCast and then State of the Game later on pretty heavily. And I think as far as shows and podcasts go, he was probably the best host that we had within this space. Like he could interview anyone and make it entertaining no matter what. He was one of the funniest guys. I think him and Jeff had the best kind of straight guy
Yeah.
type humor, and it's really shitty that he's gone. We had Brad on a couple episodes ago of 8 Bits. I talked to him for a little bit, and I don't know how those guys are doing it, but they sat down and did a podcast Tuesday night. Fucking champions for doing that shit.
Yeah, man.
And I listened to it the second it came out, and it was almost kind of like therapy for a lot of people, especially for me. Like just hearing good stories and hearing that they're all right was actually like a good thing to hear. But don't listen to that podcast in public. 'Cause if you have any sense of emotional reaction to stuff like
It
that,
might be a little, yeah.
it's a little bit rough at certain parts.
I gotta
as it should be.
echo what you said, dude, because like it's not easy to just kind of man up and do that. It's probably the last thing you want to do. And this is gonna sound like almost so insignificant and dumb, but like I've been on shows before where I've lost members of the cast. And
Yeah.
I don't mean like lost as in but maybe they no longer work there, or it's just like that can almost feel the same way, like someone has just been taken away from you. But when it actually happens, like to just press forward and to do something like that is really, it's really, I commend those guys.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. 34
Yeah.
years old, and had such a future ahead of him. I mean, Giant Bomb, I think, was really just starting kind of their path, and they'll obviously continue on. But I forgot who it was that said it, but there will always be kind of like it might have been in thanksryan.com and Dave's page that he made, where there will always be like a little hole that can't be filled, but eventually we'll just kind of move on from it. But moving on from that sucks. It's hard to watch Giant Bomb right now and realize that Ryan's not actually on vacation. Like he won't be there anymore. That's really shitty. And it affected me, like I said. I felt like that guy was a close friend. I've listened to him every week for like 5 years now or 6 years now. Some incredible amount of content that guy's put out. So,
well, our thoughts obviously go out to not only Ryan Davis's family, recently married to his wife, but also the Giant Bomb family as well, and anyone affected by it. I do, it was awesome to see all the tributes and all the various memorials that we saw throughout the week as well. So it really just goes to show how stand up this this community can be. With that being said, we move on to a little lighter subjects as we talk about new releases and announcements. This week was filled with a few. One of them just freaking flooding Reddit like a goddamn gate.
I've never seen a
and-
game take over Reddit like that. Maybe Skyrim for the equivalent.
Yeah,
but
like there's Half-Life 3 waves every once in
That's
a
true.
while and
That's
stuff. Yeah, Skyrim definitely. But God, Grand Theft Auto 5 gameplay trailer. It was just sort of like, whoever cut this trailer was like, all right, we know we got a bunch of ADD-stricken motherfuckers out there that love Grand Theft Auto. So let's just slice as much fucking shit as we possibly can into a trailer like that, and yeah. We'll make
Trailer was great.
We'll make it a fucking Tony Scott film, man, and just launch it out there, and it is great. But God, JP, there's so much crap in it that you're like, oh my God, you can do that. Oh, but you can do that, and then there's that, and there's that, and there's that, and then there's that, and Mama want that. Holy shit!
Yeah, I believe this is what they were showing to press either prior to E3 by about a week or two, but a lot of the press had seen this stuff before. But I mean, the gameplay just looks fun, and that's I mean that's the best. The best part
Yeah.
of the trailer was that there was no like the theme to that trailer was just fun. Like that's what we want to show you. We want to give you a trailer for 4 minutes to make sure that you understand this game is going to be a ton of fucking fun to play. I love the three character thing. I think the whole like pulling in and out of the different characters is going to be awesome. I like. I heard the reference several times when they go to the kind of the crazy guy. I forget what his name is, and you're like being chased by the cops. Just like that's a normal thing that he does,
Right.
right? It just looks so fun. And then the multiplayer kind of reveal at the very end of the game, or at the very end of the trailer. Sorry, was just that is what blew me away because that looked like so much fun. It looked like GTA 4's multiplayer, but with like people flying planes in front of you. That looks awesome. I cannot wait for that game.
It looks pretty badass. As someone who lived a few minutes away from Venice Beach, JP, holy
Yeah.
crap, man! Like I thought I was looking through the lens of a camera onto Venice Beach. Like I was totally blown away. Plus, the game has marijuana dispensaries in it, which I was
Yeah.
like, like GTA continues to
Yeah.
push the limits. But it's crazy how much it looks like Venice. And
Yeah.
I like Cali, so I'm excited.
Game looks fun.
I've always said like fuck Grand Theft Auto. I can't play these games anymore. But I'll tell you what, the thing that excites me the most is the three character thing.
Yeah. I'm super excited for that. I think the thing that got the most coverage was the shack.
The shack.
Just because people are like, "What's in the shack?" Like, well, I can't wait.
The first thing I'm gonna do in this game is go to the shack. It's be like, bitch,
You know-
no,
you
you,
know what'd
aren't.
be
You're gonna sit
hilarious?
through fucking 35 minutes of tutorial missions and then
Yeah. You know what would
halfway
be
through-
actually so they would probably just like win the universe if you go into the shack and you're immediately teleported to Half-Life 3. And it's just like surprise.
Oh my god!
Surprise or Half-Life 3.
Someone posted a Reddit that's like, "What I hope is in the shack," and then it had a picture from one of the Fallout's. I think it was just Fallout 3.
Oh yeah.
There's that
yeah.
door, and you open the door, and it just says "fuck you" behind it, and I'm like, "Yeah, there you go."
Oh man. Yeah, that game looks great. I want to see what the hell's going on with that multiplayer because it
Yeah, I know you're.
it looks like there's a ton of people in there. It almost
did.
looked like it was persistent.
Like
but
almost open world a little bit. I know it
Yeah.
can't be because you can't have 10 billion people in that small thing. But yeah,
Never
so,
know.
You never
Never-
know. We'll find out
Rockstar's
more.
kinda
They're,
crazy.
I think they're going to be leaking out a lot more shit as we get closer and closer. I'm sure we're going to get
When does that come out?
well
what-
at the end of this year, doesn't it?
There's a release date on that, right?
Well, let's just look up trustedamazon.com. Can I put in GTA 5? Let's see if it's smart enough. Yes, September 17th, son.
Holy
It's-
shit,
God,
that's actually
like
closer
2 months
than I
away.
thought. That's
Yeah.
2 days after my birthday. That's a good
Whoa.
birthday.
Someone
You-
better buy you that shit,
You
buddy.
get GTA 5. Yeah,
That's right.
I'm so excited for that game. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Other news and announcements is we had a new Ratchet and Clank. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so this kind of got it almost went under my radar. I was scanning a bunch of the news feeds yesterday for it, or for content for the show. So Into the Nexus, the new Ratchet and Clank, and it's $30. It'll come out this holiday season, which is kind of interesting, both digitally and purchasable in stores. But I love the Ratchet and Clank series, Weed.
They're pretty great.
Like full honesty, I feel like the first Ratchet and Clank game on the PS3 was when I really felt like I was playing at that time a next gen game. It looked fucking incredible. It looked
Sure.
like a Pixar game to me. The humor in it is well done. The gameplay is a ton of fun. I can't wait for that game. I loved every HD
So,
release that Ratchet and Clank has done.
Do we know? Is this like is it an actual all new storyline? And
Yeah, it's a brand new
Oh, okay.
storyline. Yeah, there's new characters and everything, and it's got the same humor. The gameplay
Yeah.
looks similar to all the other games.
the games are all really fantastic. Okay, That's sweet.
I love that series. I didn't play a lot of the what I call kind of like gimmicky games that they've put out in the franchise lately, but the full-on HD releases, I'm totally there. It's only $30. They're kind of recognizing that sure, it's not going to be a next-gen system. It'll be out when all the next-gen systems are out, but I will play that day one, 100%.
Nice.
Ratchet and Clank's awesome.
Still looks cool. Still looks awesome. I mean, don't forget, like, God, it's amazing what they can do in the
In the current gen,
the
right?
current gen. So, you know.
It looks simply incredible.
And last but not least, so we've mentioned this a couple times on the show, but we haven't really gone into too much deep coverage about it. But WildStar is certainly one of those MMOs that's not only on my radar, but I think on the radar of many. And, you know, for a lot of reasons. For me, a lot of it has to do with the art style. A lot of it has to do with the humor. But, you know, I do think that this is maybe one of the first MMOs I'll play in quite a while.
Yeah, and I had not watched. I had known what the game is. I watched like the initial. I think it was just the announcement trailer, and I was pretty hyped up. It looks cool graphically, but I didn't really know much about the game. And they released a video called I think it was like the art of aiming, and it was talking about the skill system in the game and how it actually how combat's really going to work. And as someone who is a huge PvP person, in pretty much everything, like I think that's the most important part of these games, right? It looks awesome. Like it looks like it will truly be kind of like skill based, right? Like even as a healer, like you have to aim your heals at the people that you want to hit on, and it really kind of brings back the days of Dark Age for me. While not the same type of combat and everything, but healers back then were very active, and they weren't just kind of like, I'm going to stand in the same spot and constantly heal you 40 times in a row.
Right.
And like cast a CC on that guy while not moving at all. Like you had to constantly move if you played like a bard or a pack healer back then to drop some Dark Age of Camelot jargon. But the game combat looks cool.
It does.
Like,
I mean, you know, it's like they've combined some aspects of like auto target spells, but then, like you mentioned, adding aiming, which is, you know, just sort of obviously seeing cones and stuff where you're going to fire, what your ranges are on different things. When you add in the movement system, then you sort of have an MMO that also is kind of like a MOBA. In terms of how, you know, like, I mean, I don't want to compare it to this game in terms of it being a MOBA, but I see these and Smite, right? If anyone's played Smite.
It reminds me a lot of Smite.
And Smite feels like an MMO MOBA in a way. So I could see how they just sort of took that from Smite and are able to implement that into the MMO world because it seemed like that's where it belonged anyway. So this is cool. God, I can't believe how much footage I've seen and how many different characters, weapons, spells,
they all look different, right?
Like everything I'm seeing is totally different. And this, of course, is not final at all, so they're still working on this game quite a bit.
Yeah, looks a lot of fun.
Stuff.
Really
I'm excited. That is WildStar, you guys. And they just released this, so you can go watch. There's about a 4-minute video that goes through.
And it's cool, too, because I think that's called, what was the name of that video?
Dev Speak.
Yeah, Dev Speak, and I think they have like 4 or 5 of those out. So it's cool to see that the devs are kind of opening that up and willing to really talk about their process a lot more instead of just kind of throwing out a 2-minute flashy trailer of saying like, here's what this is, here's what this looks like, et cetera, et cetera. So really excited for that game. I want to see more of it. All
right, so should we take our break now, even though we started a little late, or should we do this next bit and then take our break and go into?
I think we can do this next bit and then go to the break.
Okay, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for a miracle? Actually,
I love that site.
Yeah, I love that site too, gaming.tv. But actually, I haven't seen many miracles yet, JP.
Really? I've been. Some of them were pretty good. I mean, we're only at day 2.
I've seen some fucking water turn to wine and shit, but I want to see the dead rise. I want to, where in the hell are all my super packs with like 30 games for $60? And yeah, there's been some good ones, but guys, if you're like me, I got my 9-year badge on Steam now. You have bought all these games before.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
that's
right? Like,
and maybe that's like just what the Steam sale is, right? Like maybe there's not enough games to be able to have that, right? Where all the games are brand new.
yeah, yeah.
And
I
it's just
mean,
the
like,
result of being on Steam for 9 years.
and you know what else I'm salty about? You fucking assholes. You, like, god damn it, the choices were Dishonored, Borderlands 2, and Far Cry 3. Like, do you not already own Borderlands 2? Are you that fucking lame that you don't own Borderlands 2 and you had to vote it for the community when I could have got Dishonored for $10? Like, you are all morons. You're every single one of you. And the guy that mentioned that you should vote for Sleeping Dogs for community choice is also, I'm talking to you,
That game's
man.
been on a sale
I don't
so
like
much.
that game has been on sale more than any other fucking game on Steam ever. So
Yeah.
you vote Super Street Fighter 4 because that's one I don't have yet.
Oh man.
I am so excited, JP. Like, even before the show, I was like late. I'm like, oh shit, what are the Steam
No, yeah,
sales?
that dude. I was up at 6 a.m. this morning, and I was like, wait a minute, I can't go to sleep. The flash sales just changed. Let's refresh that and
Yeah.
see what that is immediately. And then there was nothing to buy, and I went to sleep. But yeah, I love Steam sales. What have you purchased thus far?
All right, so I have not played Don't Starve, so I bought a double pack for me and Minnie. I've not played Anna Chamber, so I bought that. I literally felt like I had every other game. Colorado's Gunslinger I didn't really care about. And already had Skrillex, already had Dark Souls, Third Saints Row. I didn't really get the DLC for Skyrim. So, I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, already own, like, look at the flash sales. I don't own Runner 2. I'm okay with that. I've seen it. It's cool. I watched Man play it, but I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I own all of these other ones. So, I don't know, man.
So I've purchased a good amount of games, but only one of them for me personally. So I picked up Hotline Miami 4 times, CS:GO twice, Bastion twice, Dark Souls twice, Scribblenauts. I'll probably pick up a couple copies of Fez today. What was the other one that was on sale? Walking Dead, $6.24. Like,
I have it. Like, but I mean,
we've got it, but it's an awesome sale. I'll probably pick a couple of those up. Maybe a couple of FTLs up just to give away to subs later on, because that's, to me, that's kind of what the Steam sale is now, right? Like, how many of these small little games can I hoard and then eventually give out to subscribers later on? Right?
man, I got to feel that most of these guys already fucking have half.
That's
of
the
this
other
shit.
thing too, is I'm just like, maybe I'm just like wasting money because everyone's gonna have these games already. Because
Yeah,
if
I
I'm
don't know.
buying 4 of them for $2,
You got to wait a
then
little
why aren't
bit
they?
for the sales to get off, and
Yeah.
then you could do it. Then you
Yeah.
could do it. But
Exactly.
seriously, folks, you got Grand Theft Auto 4. I don't have that for $5. I have to get that on PS3. You need to start making smarter decisions on your community choice, ladies and gentlemen. and Steam, like, I know you don't want to blow it all like right away, but I cannot believe we haven't seen one like X pack yet. I can't believe. Yeah, and Just Cause being $2.99.
That's silly.
Forget about it.
I'm definitely, I will probably personally pick up Fez for myself.
I'm buying Fez right now. It's yeah,
It's $4.99. Yeah.
it's $4.99.
Yeah, I've not played Fez before. I'm really excited. I know what it is, obviously. And then I picked up, I think, the Borderlands DLC last night for like $2. Like, of course, I'm going to buy that.
Yeah, that actually is nice.
So yeah, Steam sale's awesome. I'm sure next week we'll be talking about it. It goes on till next Friday, right?
27th, I think.
Holy shit, it goes on that long?
Is it? Oh wait, no wait, 21st. Is it 21st? Wait, what day did you say?
It
Someone's gonna
started
correct
the
me.
11th.
So
it stopped the 18th?
is it 10 days?
I don't know.
thought maybe it was 10 days. I can't even buy Fez, man. Steam, why you broke?
I'm going to buy it right now.
You're gonna try.
Oh, I'll buy it. I'll get it. But yeah, Steam sale's awesome, man. Good job.
Good job, Steam, but make it better.
But like, you're a spoiled son of a bitch. You're just like, I want more free games, please.
Oh, thank you
Make
for
them.
your
I
purchase.
want the cheaper games that I want to buy.
Yes, exactly. I am going to be a whiny little bitch. I've been waiting forever for this. Wait. Okay, here we go. July 22nd. Yes.
Holy shit! It goes on
Yeah,
that
that's
long.
why. That's why.
Okay, that's why we're
Yeah.
not seeing it, dude.
Yeah.
Look, they're gonna get through this weekend, and then like Monday, I bet you Monday they start dropping like the fucking bombs. It's when the miracles will happen. It's Monday week, 100%.
Is
Calling it.
one day just going to be like Half-Life 3.
Dude, what?
And it's
Oh
going to
my
be
god!
it's going to be minus 66% off, but it's still going to cost $1,000. How many do they sell? How many do they fucking sell, JP?
God, dude, that
Would you buy it? Would you buy it?
I'd buy it.
If
I'd buy it.
Half-Life 3 went up on Steam tomorrow for $999
It's 66% off.
and it's 66% off,
I'd buy it.
the fucking game is just like, ah!
Oh god, dude, if Valve does, like, I hate doing this because it's always like, what if Valve does this to announce Half-Life 3? What if they fucking blow up the Statue of Liberty and then it's revealed to fucking be Gordon Freeman underneath is a bronze statue, and that's how they announce Half-Life. There's so who knows? But what if they do it at the end of the sale? Like, what if the final day it's just like, well, thanks for all the money, guys. I guess we'll go ahead and put this game out.
Yeah,
now.
by the way.
Oh god,
Half-Life 3.
I can't. I just fuck that game, man. Someone in my chat. I got hyped up the other day because this one guy had like 5 or 6 accounts in my chat, and they all spammed Half-Life 3 announced. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! And like in the middle of playing Naruto, I like paused the game and just looked over and like went to Reddit.com. Like, it's not there. Went to like
What?
NeoGaf. It's not there. Like, oh fuck! I just got trolled.
Big time.
Big time troll.
Big time.
Big time troll.
It'll-
Steam sales awesome though.
Yeah, by the way, just real quickly, because Steam is having their summer sale, that seems to me like all of the other sites are also trying to get on this whole like people spending
They
money
are,
craze.
yeah.
So,
Amazon.
you know, GOG, Amazon, like check them all out because they saw.
Yeah,
like,
Amazon's actually got a 15% code off. It's only one time per account though.
yeah, you can get like Tomb Raider for $7 and stuff. It's good.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are using it on. So BioShock Infinite, that was kind of a miracle, right? $30 for BioShock Infinite.
Yeah, but
first
I
day?
mean, like honestly, everyone
But
I know already played that shit.
Yeah.
I mean-
that's true.
I don't know. God, I am a spoiled little bitch.
I don't know what they can put on to like.
I wish the Steam sale would give me money back. But like, hey, you bought this fucking.
But you get
you bought
trading
this-
cards.
you
What
bought
in
this
the
3 months-
fuck
What do
are
you mean?
trading cards? Why
I
the
don't
fuck
even
do I wanna-
know.
You don't even know, and you're just like, oh shit, I can get a trading card if I buy this.
I don't get it. But some people are gonna be sucked in, and then I'm gonna sell my trading cards for billions of dollars.
I like tried to put up one. I put it up for $100 just to see if some idiot's just like, oh yeah, let's just get that card right there. I don't even know how it works. I don't know why anyone would spend money on that shit. It's cool that Valve's like basically just throwing ideas against a fucking dartboard and making them
Yeah.
happen on a daily basis. But
Good job, Steam. All right, 2 days down. Good shit from here on out. Community, good choices. Don't fuck up again. Dishonored, be $10.
Sniper 2 is $5 right now. Sniper 2.
I bet it's actually awesome. Actually, I think I saw some guy play that, and it looks pretty cool. But next week, we'll probably also discuss what's left. Will next week be the last day? No.
No,
Oh
we'll
my
still be
God.
going, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we'll still be
I gotta
going
pace
strong, right?
myself. I got to pace
I know.
myself.
I spent like $40
I
on
gotta
all these
pace
games
myself.
yesterday. I'm like, shit.
Damn it. All right, guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue on. We're going to be talking about our next-gen watch, what you should be looking out for, and some news from both PS4 and Xbox camp. Talk a little bit about game releases, and then a few additional nanobits. Guys, thanks for joining us here on 8 Bits. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go away.